For our next project, I'm going to get out one of our little canvases. You will have one of these in your packet, and we're going to start by working on a sky. I will want some globs of blue. I do want some white in there. Where I want it brighter, I'm going to add more white. And I want mine to be a little brighter and whiter down at the bottom. I do want a little more white blue there, but I do want my sky to be darker towards the top. And as we mentioned with in the abstract video, we can engage in layering. So what I'm going to do is use the large library card scraper to just go back and forth until I get the color I want. This is also a really nice way to make a seascape or ocean. I want more white in this because this is looking very blue. And you can always wipe your card off, get some of the excess paint off. Still a little more white, I think. I went a little heavy on that blue. And these paints we have are very highly pigmented. They're fairly new to us, and so I am still sometimes adjusting on how much color I want to use. There we go. I think I'm going to add a little more blue to the top. Don't be afraid to experiment. And it's fine that my dirty fingers are getting the bottom bluish as well, because I'm going to be covering that up eventually. But of course I can wipe a little of that off with my paper towel. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do on my landscape is add some grass. And I really have fun making grass. So for grass, I'm going to add dots of green everywhere. I'm going to put a little on top of my blue, because that's where our horizon is. And this is where I'm going to add some of the lighter green I mixed up earlier. And depending on the season you want to depict, you might want to have some yellow that you'll add in later, or some brown. Just depends on what kind of landscape you're working on. But the different shades of green help add some texture, because as we know, landscapes tend not to be all one color. Okay, so for this, what we do is we will take the small scraper, and you can use the edge of the big scraper too, but it's a little easier to hold on to the small. And here, just to show you real quick, you can see what we have so far. Globs of green paint, blue background. We're going to take this little scraper and make these star patterns with the green, up and down. And they will blend into each other, and that's a good thing, because that is what will add the texture to your grass. And we just go back and forth and up into all of this. And I want a little more, and I'm really just dipping that corner of this straight in there at this point. And you know, I've decided that maybe this is near the water, and maybe I don't like that as sky after all, and so maybe this is a beach scene, and maybe I have a little puddle of water down here. So we're just gonna shoot those up here. This is where this gets to be kind of fun. You can kind of make it up as you go. You don't need to have a set idea of what you're making. And so I'm going to use the other little corner here, dip it into my brown, add a little texture with the brown, put a little brown down here at the bottom for our ground. You can see that's a really dark brown, so if you want something a little lighter, you might want to mix it with a little of the white paint or some other color to lighten it up a bit. I'm going to scrape that up a little bit up there just to have a little texture, makes a bit of stem. There we go. It's almost like having little cattails, or those lovely waterside hydrangeas. I've always been fond of those. So I'll have those go both ways. Okay, so I have those, and so let's say we want some flowers on top of those, all kinds of various colors. I can actually just dip the tip of this in different colors of paint and just make little dots. I'm going to do the other side with some yellow. Do one side with red. Just kind of top it in. And if you get too much in a spot, you can tap over it with another color. So there is quite a bit there. I'm not too worried about that one, but if there had been, I could go over later once it had dried and put in some more green grass or something of that nature. So right here, I think I might put in a little grass going up. You can just adjust as you go. It's very forgiving. But yeah, I like to have a little color. Okay. So okay, you say, that's nice. Flowers, color, water or sky, whatever we want it to be. I like birds. I want some birds. How do I make a bird? Well, first I'll show you this. Here's our scene so far. So you want a bird. Birds are actually quite easy for a basic bird. You can take your little card, or the corner of a big card, dip into some black, and just make little bees. Just little bees. And if you want more colorful birds, you can make more colorful birds. But there you go. And once it dries, if you want to add more layers and add more items to it, you can. It's all up to you. But this is a basic scrape painting. Have fun with your projects.